today I would like to ask permission from the senior monks, the general Sangha, novices, to speak on Dhamma, and I welcome all the laity and give you my blessing. You've all got faith in the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha, and so coming here today is an expression of that. You're giving importance in your lives to the practice of Dhamma, and it means you must have given up time, energy and other duties and responsibilities to come here today, to come out here and practice in this place. This is a monastery, it's a place of respect and dedicated to Dhamma practice for people to develop peace and happiness in their hearts, in their lives. And today and tomorrow have a special meaning for us because we're celebrating Wesak. We're recollecting the Buddha's life and his teachings, and today in this retreat we're making our practice a special offering to the Buddha, the Dhamma and the Sangha. We're also making a special effort to take and keep the 8 precepts, which are the basis for, or the foundation for moral practice and for the development of meditation. And when we keep the precepts, the 8 precepts, we have to increase our energy in the practice, our effort, and from this it will help to provide the causal conditions for our minds to flow towards the Dhamma and to realize the Dhamma. So we're giving up everything for the Dhamma today. We are becoming what we call an anagarika, homeless one for one day and one night, meaning that we're letting go of all our concerns, our worries and our attachments about home, family, work and so on. Turning our attention to develop sati, mindfulness, and sampajanya, clear comprehension, and directing this towards our own self, our khandhas in the practice, and developing the practice of kammatthana, meditation. This means developing awareness and focusing it on what we have right here, this body and mind, as it is in nature, in truth. So this weekend we're recollecting Wesak, the Buddha's birth and his enlightenment and parinibbana. When we were first born in our mother's womb, we came into the world without anything. We were in a very natural way, without any material things, without any knowledge, just a body and a mind, and as yet had no real means to become peaceful or happy. So we come to practice then to find peace and happiness by abandoning all that leads us to stress, worry and agitation, to let go of all that which causes us suffering and prevents us from being free and independent. The basis of practice or kammatthana is focusing our awareness on the present moment, the paccuppanna dhamma, and focusing it on that which we have right here. We have a body, rupa dhamma. We have the different parts of this body, and we can observe and contemplate them from the top of our heads down to our feet, from the outside to the inside. We learn to contemplate, to observe and investigate, to see that this body is made up of the 4 elements, air, fire, earth and water. And this body or these 4 elements are our dwelling place, our abiding place. It can be a great source of suffering to us. the four elements that we have in this body, they expose us to cold, heat, and different forms of pain. And this is why we have to practice to find happiness. But we can use the body for contemplation, for our practice. We can use what we call the Mula Gammatana, the 5 basic meditation objects, to develop awareness. We focus our awareness on what you can see here: our hair, our nails, our teeth, our skin, the external outside of our body, to see the true nature of it, to see that really inherently these things are unattractive, they're impermanent. This is what we call Gaya-gata Sati, focusing on the body as an object of awareness, of mindfulness, and to see the lack of self in this body. We don't really own this body. It's not us, it's not me, it's not mine. Since we were born, we were told it is our body. Our parents said, this is your name, your body is called this. And they talk about our body, our hair, our teeth, as belonging to us. So we tend to believe that. All our experience seems to tell us that this body is ours. But this leads to attachment and delusion. The world around us, society, also feeds that attachment and delusion. The world is full of unenlightened individuals, so they support this view that this body is us, it's me, it's mine. But the world sends us objects, different sense objects that you contact, and these will lead to feelings of satisfaction, dissatisfaction, attraction and aversion. When we attach to this body, through that attachment, the world gets us infatuated. We become infatuated with this body and become infatuated and intoxicated with the world, and this can lead us to danger. So we have to learn how to relate to the world and society through mindfulness and wisdom to avoid danger, to avoid suffering, so that we can understand the true nature of reality. And we have to learn how to stop. The Buddha said we have to learn how to stop, to restrain our minds, restrain ourselves. Say today you came to the monastery, you travelled along the road in a car probably. But if you drive out in a car, you need a good brake to stop in emergencies or to avoid danger or trouble on the road. So in our practice we have to have that same ability. We have to be able to learn to stop and restrain our minds. We have to learn how to stop thinking of the past, stop thinking of the future, and bring our awareness to the present moment. We have to bring up a sense of care and circumspection so that we can observe and investigate the truth as it is each moment. We observe and investigate this body. We observe the breath. This we call anapanasati, mindfulness of breathing. We can't see the breath with our eyes because it's air, but we can observe the breath through the mind, through the experience of the breath. Our physical eyes see things because of the presence of light rays of light from the sun or electric light. And we need a healthy eye and these rays of light for our seeing to arise. But when we practice meditation, we developing internal seeing, the tipa jaksu, internal seeing of the mind that is becoming refined with mindfulness. We can develop this mindfulness by focusing on our breathing. We become aware of the in-breath. We become aware of the out-breath. We know the breath that is long, the in-breath that is long. We know the in-breath, the long out-breath. We know the short in-breath, and we know the short out-breath. We develop mindfulness and a clear all-round awareness of the breathing at each moment. We give ourselves time to practice this because it can't develop quickly. This kind of awareness has to be developed through sustained practice, regular practice, and we have to be patient. We can also become aware of our minds. The mind itself has no form. It's different from the body. The mind is nama dhamma. But we can also focus on our minds as an object of awareness. The mind can be a source of both coarse and refined dukkha, refined suffering. So we must learn how to study, contemplate and investigate the mind, just like the body, because the mind is also a part of nature. When we were first born into our mother's womb as an embryo, that embryo was tiny and it gradually grew sense organs, arms, legs, and grew into a human form over time. That's Satya Dhamma, that's truth. On the level of the mind, it's the same. Our mind has developed over time. We have to learn how to see the mind as it is in truth, in reality, just like the body. The mind has developed through proliferation, sankhara dhamma, different creations, formations, or conditioning, the conditioning process. This is the nourishment or the food of the mind. The body has its material food and the mind has its nourishment. So to observe the mind, we're developing the internal eye, the Dhammajaksu, learning how to see the mind as it is, to see the objects of the mind, to see our moods and mental states. Some of these moods and mental states are, we could say, like enemies, which enslave us, harm us, and take us to a lack of freedom. We have two kinds of mental states. We have the positive ones, we call kusala, and the negative ones, akusala. But in the practice of Kammatthana, both kinds we give equal value to. They're of the same nature, the same truth. They're conditioned things. And the Buddha said, don't attach to anything, don't attach to any of them, or give them importance. By focusing on the arising and passing away of all mental states, all moods, this will bring us to peace. When we see the impermanence of things, the body becomes peaceful. When we practice contemplating the body, the parts of the body, and can see its impermanent or conditioned nature, this is Kaya Gata Sati, mindfulness of body. We can come to see the body as just elements. In the end, they're all just one element, the Dhamma Dhatu, the true reality or the true nature. There's no self, no permanent entity that we can call a self. There's just truth. When we see this, then the body becomes peaceful. And when we have no attachment to this sense of self in this body, we don't identify with it as a self, this sense of peace will also bring peace to the mind. It will bring up the wholesome positive qualities. And when the mind becomes peaceful and the body is peaceful together, then all the objects of mind, the mental states, will become peaceful. You can compare this to the water on the surface of the earth. When it rains, then you get streams forming up in the mountains, and the water always flows downhill, forming into rivers and then gradually flowing onto the ocean, as long as there's no dams or obstacles in its way. And each stream, each river will be slightly different colour, depending on the earth particles, the rocks and things in the water. But when all those rivers and streams reach the ocean, they all turn to just one colour, the blue-green colour of the ocean. So when we practice Dhamma, all the objects, the mental states, the moods in our mind, although they are different and they come from different places, they all flow together to become one, just become Dhamma. They have the same colour. When we focus awareness on the mind like this, they all just become objects of awareness. They become almost like divine, Deepa, the Pali Deepa. With the influence of mindfulness, they become objects for more refined mental states to arise. So we develop mindfulness in every posture, every activity. And in the beginning it will be slightly difficult to do this. It will even feel oppressive. But over time we'll find it more easy, we'll feel better practicing and becomes more skilled. So today we have come together to practice meditation, to do that which is of the highest benefit for human beings. We are coming to realize our potential as human beings. Whether we have a strong body or weak body, we dedicate our energy of this body to the practice. We dedicate it to this higher goal. And I hope that you can all commit yourselves sincerely to the practice. Dedicate everything you have to the puja, the expressing respect and reverence for the Buddha, the Dhamma, the Sangha through your practice, using mindfulness and wisdom to develop right view based on reasoned reflection, based on understanding, not to get caught into false or wrong views, but to develop wisdom through your practice today, and this will become a cause and a condition for your eventual liberation, the reaching of Mokkha Dhamma. Dhamayang ovadakata sadhu karang datamasai. Sadhu, 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 anumodam. The time is 9:30, so the next period will have half an hour of walking meditation. Probably there won't be much room to walk in here. If there is at the back, you can walk between the walls. Otherwise find a spot outside around the car parks, even on the grass, anywhere that seems suitable. And the normal way of practicing walking meditation is to find a pathway maybe 10 meters, 15 meters long, to stop at one end of your pathway, of your area. Stop, compose your mind, look at the ground in front of you, and then start walking. And usually we walk a little bit slower than normal, just to bring up a sense of mindfulness. And as you walk, put your attention, your awareness on the feet, the pressure, the feeling of the feet touching the ground. And if you would like, you can also recite Buddho, meaning the one who knows, the awakened one, as you walk. And walk back and forward slowly. You can stop as you turn around to walk back along your path, just stop, compose yourself again, and carry on walking. And a bell will be rung at 10 o'clock to let you know that the session is ended. Then there'll be another sitting session in here until time to get ready for lunch. After lunch, I'll give you instructions just before lunch on the rest of the program. So we can all bow 3 times and then go to walking meditation.